Morning, everybody. I hope everybody's doing all right. I know I slept all night last night. Now I'm up and moving very slow today because I feel like I could sleep for another 8 hours, and I slept probably for close to 8 hours last night. Um, God's with me though. He'll get me through the day, one way or another, whether I get my daily nap or not. He'll see that I get through the day. So we do have a prayer request, and hopefully they can get lots of prayers and find the work that they're looking for. Um, I know I'm praying for that to happen. I hope y'all watch my videos out to the end. I know sometimes I just ramble on for what seems like forever when you're watching a video of mine, but you know, sometimes I don't feel like I've said everything I want to get out there until I ramble on for a while. So that's it all the time. That's not just in videos. That's all the time. It's just how I am. Ramble. But anyway, um, I hope y'all watch these out. It helps out spread the word, and any likes and comments and shares also help out to get the word out there. Um, God's going to spread the word the way He wants it spread and where He wants it spread. So the more people that help with that, getting that word out there where God wants it, um, the more He'll get the glory. The more He'll realize that um, we all we all love Him and need Him and want other people to believe and have faith in Him and understand that, eternity is forever. And we can't grasp as human beings what forever might be. I mean, we've lived just a short time considering the fact of forever. And I know we look at our age like, okay, I'm 50 or I'm 60 or I'm 70, and it seems like so much longer. Every time we hit that 10-year mark or that 5-year mark or that 2-year mark, it just seems like we've lived so much longer. But stop and think how 50 years or 60 years went. And that's just a blink of an eye in the eyes of eternity. And, if you look at 50 or 60 or 70 years or, 30 or 40, whatever they are, if you look at them and think, well, you know, I've had such a loving experience with God, or He's fulfilled so many prayers. He's done so much for me, blessed me in so many ways. In just that short time, it may feel like twice as long as it is. But if you think He's done this much good for me this far, uh, what's it going to be like being in His kingdom with Him and to know that He is there giving you your heart's desire because you had your faith in Him, you believed in Him, you prayed to Him, you gave Him the glory for this time on earth, which may seem like it's going by in a blink of an eye, or it may seem like it's dragging out forever. When forever gets here, when eternity gets here, when that time comes that you bow in front of God and you confess your life to Him, that eternity is going to be so much longer than now. And Do you want to spend that time with Him? Do you want to confess in front of Him and then find the alternative to spend eternity? What seems like so little bit of a time now on earth. Just imagine that over and over and over and over again and sharing it with God, sharing it in His streets of gold, and just the beauty, such clean, pure place to be for eternity versus the alternative. I don't want to spend eternity in hell. I want to spend eternity with God. And I can't even fathom how long eternity is going to be. I I can't imagine there being any kind of end when it comes to eternity, and you know can any of us really grasp what forever and ever and ever means? It's not 60 years and 60 years and 60 years. It's forever. You would have to just literally sit here and say 60, 60, 60, 60 over and over and over and over. And even if you spent the rest of your life doing it, if you started out if you was 30, you still wouldn't say enough, you know, 60 and 60 and 60s to add up to eternity. Eternity, forever, no end, don't stop. And you know, how can we grasp the idea of something that never, ever ends and that we will be a part of it? We will be a part of something that never ends, never stops, never quits. It goes on and on. How can we grasp that concept when we're talking about anything? Because everything we do in this life, it seems to have an end. Eventually, you're no longer a baby. Eventually, you're no longer a toddler. Eventually, you're no longer a young child. And, you get into where a young adult and a middle aged adult and an older adult, every stage ends. And everything you do in them stages, you get to a point where eventually it stops. And then you get to a point where your life stops. It ends. You no longer are living this life. And when you get to that point, do you know where you're going to spend eternity? Do you know what forever and ever is going to be ahead of you? The Bible is pretty clear. It's either heaven or hell, one of the two. And forever is it's I can't fathom it. I cannot sit here and give you a specific time. It starts here and ends there because it does not end. And we don't know when our time with God will start unless we start it now. And every minute we can start it. Every minute we can keep it going from being started. But when the time comes, and we're done on this earth as this person, when will our time start? Will we spend that time in eternity? Will with God? Are we fooling ourselves here on earth thinking I've got a little more time and then I can pray for forgiveness? I got a little more time and I can still do these little things. I have time to ask for forgiveness. I don't have to start right now. Do you know that for certain? I don't. I know that whenever my time in this body ends, I want the rest of my time from there to be with God in heaven. When I kneel down before Him and become accountable for my actions, I want to know that God has sent His Son to earth to die on the cross for my sins, and that I will spend eternity with Him because of that. Not because of me or whatever I've done, but because He sent His Son to take care of us. Now, I still do have to do my part, and I have to do the best I can to live a life that God would want me to live. I still have to understand that, wrong is wrong. And so we need to do right. But I also know that I haven't always lived that way. And even though I live that way now, I'm not a perfect person. I'm a sinner, just like most all of us. I mean, as long as as long as you're on this earth breathing, can you guarantee you won't sin? But do you have a path to God, even though we sin? Yes. And as long as we do, then that's when we can spend eternity in heaven, should we choose to take that route. And eternity is such a long time. Eternity, it's just, there's no way to, I don't think, get across how long eternity is going to be. I have sat at times and just really tried to figure out what would be a way for, for me to grasp the length of eternity, or to talk to somebody else so we can, talk to each other and figure out what is a comparison of the length of eternity to something we can relate to here and now. I can't. I can't. I just can't. Excuse me. I know that for the time I've been on this earth, it seems like it's been a long time. And it ain't even a blink of an eye to the length of time that eternity will be, because eternity is infinite. It don't stop. It goes on forever. So, uh, choose your eternity wisely, and just know, should you choose God for eternity, it's time to start now, because you don't know in this life, in this form, if you're going to have a chance to choose it in 2 minutes from now or a half a minute from now. I, I choose eternity with God. I don't know if I'll ever, even in heaven, be able to grasp eternity and how it's never ending. But I know right now that heaven is where I want to spend that. With my Lord and Savior is where I want to spend that. With God, who answers my prayers, who takes care of me, who guides me, who loves me. That's where I want to spend eternity, is with Him. But anyway, I've again just kind of went on, but I do feel like, um, if we can figure out how long eternity is, then there's so many other questions and possibilities we could figure out. But how do you figure out what forever, what infinity, what never ending is? You can't. God can. God knows. Anyway, I hope you watch this out to the end. I've just kind of let you know where I'm at this morning, where my head's at this morning, and it's been there a lot over the last couple of weeks. What is eternity? Where am I going to be when that eternity choice is in front of me? When I sit in front of God, where am I going to spend eternity? Where is He going to say I'm going to be forever, just ever, forever? And I'm going to do everything I can to spend that with God. And I hope y'all do too. I hope y'all like, comment, share, subscribe. Share this out with your friends and family. Anybody needs prayers or encouragement of any kind. Um, this is a channel in the community that I pray will accomplish that. Y'all have a super day. Have a good day. Bye.